Hey guys, this will be a bit of a debrief on the last 8 weeks. So let's see here. This is kind of a review of the Road to Anywhere squat program, but with a lot of caveats. So I want to get those out of the way first. Um, Number one, I put 245 pounds as my max squat back in December. That was without a belt, but I did do a 265 with a belt at that time. So 245 is what I put on. Number two, the program has a lot of accessory movements. I probably did half of them. A lot of that was due to me being tired or lazy or time constrictions. So that's there as well. And then on week 7, I got sick. And it's really frustrating because I want to say it like impacted performance, but that's just an excuse. And then I had like a really strict time period to complete this whole program. So I had 8 weeks, really like 7 weeks, 6 days, and that was it. I would have to take a week off regardless after that. So if anything came up, if I had to like pick up a new shift, if I had to, got sick, there was really no changing the schedule. And also, I didn't want to resume it after the week because I honestly was like just tired and I needed a break. So more than a week break. So yeah, those might sound like excuses, and they are, but really not for me, more for like the program because I feel like I want this program to be perceived in like the best light it can. So I want to just make sure that's all there. So let's cut to the chase, right? So my squat went from 245 without a belt to 265 with a belt to 295 by one with a belt, or 290 for two if that's more impressive to you. And then I did go from 295 with a belt to 315. I attempted it, but I didn't get it. I got maybe like halfway up and then failed. I did hit every single squat throughout the program, except for one, and that was 265 by three. I think it was like week 5 or 6 or something. And that was when I did one rep without a belt and then said nope, and then put on the belt and hit every squat after that. And so, yeah, let's maybe do like 3 pros and 3 cons, just to keep it nice and simple. Pro. So this is a big one, right? I didn't realize I just like being told what to do. It's the difference between somebody saying, hey, why don't you go ahead and do as many push-ups as you can, and somebody saying, do 50 push-ups. It's just a different mental thing. So I don't know, I think people might have preferences about which one works best for them. The only real experience that I have is, more like hypertrophy stuff, and that's its own thing. But I guess with 531, in that program, you do sets where you're supposed to do as many reps as possible. And so I would have like squat, bench, deadlift, compound lifts that I had to perform as many times as I could. And sometimes I would look and see like, hey, at this weight, how many reps do I need to have a calculated 1 rep max that's better than last time? I would do that, but I don't know, the drive isn't the same for me for whatever reason. But with this program, it's somebody tells you to do 50 push-ups, you do 50 push-ups. Now the art is in knowing how many push-ups that person can actually do. And so this program, it only works because the jumps and the progress that you make, it makes sense. And so for somebody who, squatted for 5 months and went from, I don't even remember, it was like 185 for something to like 265. For someone who's, maybe still making some linear progress, this progression scheme worked really well. So I really like that. I like being told, hey, this Friday I'm going to go in and I'm going to have to squat like 290 for two like multiple times. It kind of makes you a little bit nervous or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like it takes the agency out of your hands. All you know is you just have to show up and do it. If you don't do it, that's fine. But for me at least, my thinking didn't get that far. It was just, hey, I'm going to do it. So I really like that. Number two, the accessory movements made me feel like an athlete. I never really did a lot of those movements. So when I did them, it felt like, hey, this is kind of different, new, and yeah, I did like them. It's a very small thing, I guess. And it's very easy to pair this program with other workouts. So, I did this program and the bench program as well. So I never felt like the two were colliding in any way other than time. So I never felt like, I was too tired to do one or the other because of the workouts. Maybe because of other things, but not the workouts themselves. And yeah, I guess, you squat 2 days a week, so that was a pro as well. And it just feels good. Feels like you're progressing and um, have purpose in your workouts. So those are the pros. Kind of generic maybe, but that first one's a big deal for me and probably the biggest thing that I took away from this program. Cons. Are these really cons? Maybe. You probably can't be on like a trying to lose weight when you're doing this program. So I've been gaining weight for the last from like the second half of last year. So I'm tired of eating. So I didn't really put on any weight doing this program. Maybe like I lost half a pound actually. So I don't think if you're actually trying to lose weight that this is a good program. I think it's gonna be very difficult and it's gonna be like mentally, physically very taxing. So that's one con. Again, I use that word loosely. Maybe more like a disclaimer, not con, disclaimer. And then, in a similar vein, you have to have like the appropriate amount of sleep and free time set aside for this program. So, it is a progression, right? You do day 3 because you've done day 2, and you do day 2 because you've done day 1. You can't go up a staircase, you're not supposed to, right? You go up one step at a time, and each step kind of builds on the one before it. So if you have a lot of things that come up randomly, if you're unable to, give up very specific times, right? You can't like wait 2 weeks before a workout. You can't have like an off week or, kind of phone it in one day. Like there's none of that, right? This is like, it's a difference between like jogging and sprinting, right? If it's just general like working out to try to like look good, it's sort of like a jog, right? You just go for a jog, and when you're tired, you stop. Okay, see how far I jogged today? That was good for me. But a sprint, like racing someone, like no, every single time that you do it is a big deal, and you have to be there. You have to be there mentally and physically, which means you sort of have to have your sleep and your scheduling kind of on point. So this isn't something that maybe if you only did the squat program and not the bench program, it's a little different. But even then, it's not something that you can easily just sort of do as a just an ancillary thing in your life. It sort of comes front and center sometimes. And then maybe this is my problem, but there are some like novel movements, right? Those like athletic movements that I talked about earlier, they're fun, right? But it is a lot of stuff that I haven't done before. So that's me, right? It's a me thing. So it's a little bit taxing mentally to like pull up a program and be like, oh, what am I supposed to do today? And like look up exercises because you've never done them, and then kind of figure them out for the first time and see like, oh, am I doing it right? Am I feeling what I'm supposed to be feeling? So there's a bit of that as well. So I think, when I run this program again, that part should be a lot easier. So yeah, like the cons, they're more like disclaimers. They're not really cons. And overall, like I really did enjoy the program, and it was really fun to hit certain lifts. I think it's pretty well known if you like go on Reddit or something and look at the reviews of these programs. If you put in your max as like 100, at some point in this program, you're going to do that for reps, for multiple sets. So I did that with 245, and it's nuts, right? You don't expect to be able to do that. But you just go ahead and do it because you're supposed to, and then it gets done and you're shocked. So yeah, this program for that reason worked really well for someone like me. And yeah, I feel like if I didn't get sick, if I had a little bit more time to like actually space out the program it was supposed to be, especially in the last couple of weeks when I sort of compressed a few of the workouts together. If I did all the accessory movements and I allowed myself to gain a little bit of weight, I feel like I would have been able to do better than just a 30-pound improvement. So that's what I want to say. But that's all speculation, and we just got to use it as motivation for next time to actually do those things and to actually make the program. So I only did 30 pounds this time, but that means the next jump I make will be even bigger. So that's something. And then I'll add this in here only because I did the program. So I did the bench program as well, and I hit every actual bench press that I was supposed to. I did like maybe half the accessory movements, and I didn't gain any weight. And when it comes to bench press, I've done that a lot more, or that kind of movement, a lot more frequently in the last few years. So I feel like I'm a lot further along in it. So maybe I don't have as far to go on that as I did the squat. So I didn't really see much improvement on that. I went from 205 to 205, although it was a little bit more easy to do. I probably should have tried to do 195 per reps or something, but I was way too tired. to attempt anything like that. So again, more speculation. But the pro is, I didn't get any weaker, and it slid in easily with the squat program, and it was, it was fun to do. And honestly, my bench probably would have gone down a fair amount if I hadn't benched at all for a couple months. And then I did an overhead press max out thing, so I went from like 140 to 145. So I don't know. It's not the worst thing. But yeah, I think proportionally I'm at a bit of a disadvantage on bench anyways, and I think my best bang for the buck is probably to try to gain muscle in the area, like more hypertrophy work first. So that might be sort of the way to go. So again, those are just thoughts. That's not even a review on that bench program. Like that, I'm not qualified to comment based on how I ran it. So don't make too many decisions off that. But the Sika Strength Road to Anywhere squat program, highly recommend if you're someone like me, if you're happy to just be told what to do and you just want to hit it, and you're kind of like starting or midway through your squat journey. I think it's pretty good. Anyways, that's it for this week. The future is me doing probably some other program, probably more like bodybuilding stuff, probably lose some weight. Looking forward to that. Not eating as much. Finally running. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, sometime end of this year, maybe next year, we'll get on this train again and try to go for that 1,000. Right now we're at 885 pounds combined for the squat, bench, and deadlift. Not much for some, decent amount for me. I'm like 5'9" and 3.5 and a quarter, 0.9, and like 182 pounds, but probably like 25% body fat. So it's we place limitations on ourselves, but my limit's higher than 1,000, so we got to hit that first. Anyways, I'll see you guys later, and yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to get as lazy as possible about these videos, so you might be seeing like just a drop off in all the already abysmal quality. So look forward to that. See ya.